This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my Online Music Academy. So delighted to have you here. In this quick answer episode, I'm going to talk about a capo and how we use it, how it works. So, capos are pretty easy to use. The one that I have here is sort of a clothesline type. Kaiser makes this kind. I think these work great. I have other types. Really doesn't matter. Just as long as it holds the strings down kind of securely, then you're A-okay. So I have this Kaiser one. This one works like a clothespin. They all kind of work the same. But basically, if I just clamp it down onto the strings, it will shorten the length of the guitar. Shorten the length of the guitar neck, I should say. So it changes the key of the guitar, but we can use the same chord shapes that we're familiar with without the capo on. So just for example here, just a taste of Amazing Grace. Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. Uses G, C, and G in that key. But if I go ahead and clamp it on, maybe I'm like, you know what, singing it that low doesn't work for me, then I'll go ahead and just clamp on the capo, and then I can do it higher using those same chord shapes. Technically, I'll be in a new key, but I can think with the original chords that I know, and maybe I like using those particular voicings. So I could go, Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved. And I'd be in that key using those same shapes of G, C, and G. So a couple pointers about using a capo. One, when you put it on, you want to place it just a couple, I was placing it about 4 or 5 millimeters behind the fret. And what it's done is it's replaced the nut on the guitar, and now it's shorter. So the length of the guitar is now shorter, thus changing the key of the guitar and what pitches the open strings ring at. What I want to do is make sure that each one of those pitches, one of those strings rings clearly as an open pitch at the new pitch. If not, I need to readjust my capo. Then the other thing that can be really good to do is to check the tuning. So sometimes when we put the tuner on, things aren't quite in tune and it just doesn't sound very good. So we can always check the tuning once we've got the capo on there, where we're going to play with the capo. That can be a good thing to do. So using the capo is as simple as that. If we go up to the 5th fret with the capo, we're starting to get into the territory of a ukulele, especially on the top 4 strings. Just a tenor and soprano ukulele. That's the key where the ukulele starts. And if we get going too high, we might find that we're actually singing lower than the chords, and so usually staying within those first few frets will adjust it to the key we want to for singing. Maybe it's a little high or low, and we can just capo it and try it in that key. Sometimes that works. If we go super high though, you will find that though you can play, you're going to have these high sounding chords. Might not want those way up there. Amazing Grace. Or you might like it. So it just kind of depends. But usually we kind of live with the capo most of the time down in the first 4-ish, 5 frets. And then occasionally we may use it higher if we want that particular high chord sound. So now, using the capo is easy. Understanding the transposition is a little bit harder, but if you're curious about understanding the transposition, then I'll explain it here. So I have a diagram of the neck, sort of in tablature form, meaning that if I flip my guitar upside down, that's how it's going to read. If I look straight at it backwards, that's how I'm seeing this. So we've got the low 6th string or the low E, then the A, then the D, G, B, and E. I've written the names of the notes on the low 3 strings. Those are the bass strings. Those are the lowest notes used in the chord, and whichever one is the lowest note, the bass note of the chord, we could say, is usually the root of the chord when we're playing on the guitar. So knowing where that root is, will help us know what the transposition is. So I was just playing a G chord for Amazing Grace. The G chord naturally has this low G note, 3rd fret of that low string, as its lowest note, as its root, because it's a G chord. G matches the G. The G is the root because it's a G chord. And then it's also the lowest note or the bass note of the chord. So that's a G. Then when I played C, my lowest note of the C chord is the C pitch, which is at the 3rd fret of the 5th string. If I had gotten to it, I didn't, but if I'd have played a D7, which would be the other note in that chord progression, the open D string is my lowest note in the D7 chord, and it's the open D string. So when I put the capo on, it's going to change that. So if I put the capo on at the 3rd fret, we'll just pretend I have a capo on at the 3rd fret. Here I'll use my little eraser. That's going to change everything. So now the 3rd fret is the new open position on the guitar, meaning these are the pitches ringing on those open strings. So when I play my G chord shape, I should say, it's no longer a G chord, but when I play my G chord shape, then that lowest note of that chord is 3 frets higher than where the capo is. Because when I play it open, it's 3 frets, it's up 3 frets. So the open string and then 3 frets higher, so on the 3rd fret. So if I count 1, 2, 3, I get to a B flat or an A sharp pitch, meaning that my G shape with the capo on at the 3rd fret is now a B flat chord. When I play my C chord, then I have to count 3 frets higher than where I would have been. So with my capo on, 1, 2, 3, I'm up to E flat or D sharp. So we'll say E flat, since we said B flat. So my C chord shape is creating an E flat chord. So I have B flat and E flat now. If I were to play the D, the D7, the D is the open string normally when I'm playing D, so now it's going to be the open 4th string, which is an F. So that's now an F7 chord. So I have B flat, E flat, and F7. Those are the actual chords that I'm playing, though I'm using my original G, C, and D7 shapes. I'll demonstrate one more here. If I were to put this on at the 4th fret, instead, so if our capo was at the 4th fret, now my open strings are ringing A flat, D flat, and G flat, or I could look at it from the sharp perspective, G sharp, C sharp, F sharp. If you need help understanding notes on the guitar or the chromatic scale, you can check out my quick answer video on that. But if I play my G shape, my root note is 3 frets higher than where the capo is, so 1, 2, 3 puts me at a B pitch. So my G shape is now a B. It's now a B chord. My C shape, same thing on the 5th string, is 3 frets higher than the capo, so 1, 2, 3, I'm up to an E. So what was my C chord with the capo on at the 4th fret is now a C. And then my D7 shape, my open 4th string was a D, but now it's an F sharp or a G flat. So we'll go with F sharp. So my D7 shape is now playing an F sharp 7. So I have B, and F sharp 7. And that's how that transposition works. All you got to know is the notes on these strings, or find a diagram of it. There's some in my books. But if you have a diagram, you can figure out the transposition of the chords you were playing just by counting up based on where your capo is and where the lowest note of that chord is. Alrighty! Hope you're having fun playing the guitar. Hope to see you again.
If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more in-depth lessons and to progress through a free guitar course, check out my Guitar 101 series on YouTube and my guitar method books, which all come with access to hours of in-depth video lessons. You can find more information about me and my products at kristenbromley.com. Take care.